Hi guys, welcome to our Sudhir Neat Biology Academy channel. I am your Dr. Mohan Angappan. Today, as a continuation of the neural coordination, let us take up the topic on the human eye. See guys, actually the eye is the organ of sight. Actually, it collects and refracts light to the brain, to the central nervous system. Where it is located, actually, the eyes are located in the eye orbit or the orbit of skull. The eyes are directed forward and they are adapted for binocular vision. See, they are directed forward and they are adapted for binocular vision. Actually, the eyes are protected by eyelids, eyelashes and the lacrimal glands, which actually secrete some liquid which lubricates the eye for the free movement of the eyeballs. Coming to the structure of eye, the eye is covered by three layers: outer sclera, middle choroid layer and inner retina. And then it contains a lens, aqueous chamber containing aqueous liquid or aqueous humor, and then vitreous chamber containing vitreous humor, etc. This all we take up now. We take up one by one. First, let us take up the first layer, cornea. This is the, you can see the outer layer, cornea. This is the outer layer, sclera. Outer layer, sclera. That sclera extends in front as cornea. The outer layer, the sclera, which extends in front to the eye as cornea. Right. Now let us take up sclera. Sclera, if you take the total length of the eyeball, the sclera has 5/6 of the eyeball. And cornea is the rest 1/6 of the eyeball. If we take the sclera, this is the external dense connective tissue layer. External dense connective tissue layer, and it is opaque. It is opaque and outermost covering of the eye, and actually it protects all the inner layers. So sclera is actually called as the white of the eye white, due to the presence of the collagen fibers. It's called as the white of the eye due to the presence of the collagen fibers. Right. This extends anteriorly, I told you, as cornea, this portion, cornea. So cornea is thin, the sclera is the thickest layer, but whereas that extends in front of the eye as a thin transparent layer called cornea. It is avascular, it's very, very important. Cornea lacks blood vessels, but it is rich in nerve endings. You must know it is avascular, very important. It lacks blood vessels. Actually, it allows the light into the eye. It is the cornea which actually allows the light into the eye. It admits the light waves into the eyes and helps to focus the light wave. Actually, when the light comes in, it helps to focus the light wave. Another important thing the cornea does is that it absorbs oxygen from air and gives to the eye. If you take the refractive index of cornea is about 1.376. So refractive index of cornea is 1.376. Right. In front of cornea, there is a thin transparent layer that is called conjunctiva. It's very important. See, outer to the cornea, there's a thin transparent layer protecting cornea is called as conjunctiva. This conjunctiva secretes oil and mucus that moistens and lubricates the eye. Oh, this is about the first layer, sclera. Then coming to the next layer, choroid. So you can see this layer is the choroid layer. Second layer, middle layer is the choroid layer. That consists of two parts. One, ciliary body and iris. This is the ciliary body and iris. We will talk about these two now. Ciliary body, you can see here. Actually, the choroid extends in front as thick particles called ciliary body. What is the function of this ciliary body? They actually holds the lens in position. This is the lens. This actually holds the lens in position. And another function, it allows the lens to stretch and relax to accommodate for the vision. That is called the accommodation of the eye. By changing the focal length. So the ciliary body helps the lens to change the focal length to accommodate for the sight. That's about the ciliary body. Then talking about this choroid, actually I told you it contains ciliary body and iris. When we talk about this choroid, it is vascular layers, very important. This cornea is avascular, whereas this middle choroid is vascular layer. It's a pigmented layer. It contains numerous blood vessels and nourishes the retina. So it is just above the retina and it nourishes the retina by the blood vessels. The choroid is vascular and contains many blood vessels which nourishes the retina, the third inner layer. Actually, I told you it becomes thick in the anterior and forms the ciliary body. And then I told you the ciliary body helps the lens to take its position, holds the lens in position, and also it helps the lens to stretch and relax to change the focal length according to the distance of the object for the accommodation of the eye. Then coming to iris, if you take this eye, it is the iris. The center of the iris, you get the small hole called pupil. See, this iris is a pigmented layer and it contains specific pigments and gives specific color to the eye, blue or green or black. That is due to the color of the pigment of the iris. And then if you take the iris, it is made up of two types of fibers, circular fibers and radial fibers. You can see the diagram. It is the circular fibers. This is the radial fibers. When the radial fibers contract, actually the eye shrinks. That is for bright light. So when the circular fibers contract, eye shrinks. That is due to the bright light. When the radial fibers contract, the eye dilates. That is in dim light. So for accommodate the dim light and the bright light, for the shrinking and dilation of the eye, iris is very important. I repeat for your convenience, the iris has two types of fibers. You can see circular fibers and radial fibers. The radial fibers, when contract, the eye shrinks. That is in bright light. When the radial fibers contract, the eye dilates. That is in the dim light. So this is about the iris. So we have seen the sclera, and then cornea, conjunctiva, and then choroid in that ciliary body, and iris. Then coming to lens, the lens is a convex lens. You must remember, the lens is convex lens and it is flexible. It can shrink and relax to change its focal length, focal power to accommodate the eye. If we take the refractive index of the eye, it ranges from 1.375 to 1.406. Then we have to see these portions. Between the retina and the lens, you get a chamber called aqueous chamber. So in between in between cornea and the lens, you get a chamber called aqueous chamber that contains a liquid aqueous humor. Aqueous humor. It's a transparent liquid. Aqueous humor is a transparent liquid having a refractive index of 1.334. It's a transparent liquid, aqueous humor. See, at the junction of the sclera and the cornea, it's a cornea, it is sclera. At the junction of sclera and cornea, you get a small canal called the canal of Schlemm, S-C-H-L-E-M-N, canal of Schlemm. So actually the excess of water, liquid, from this aqueous chamber is drained into the canal of Schlemm. It is the draining passage for the excess liquid of the aqueous humor. Suppose if it is not drained, if the canal is blocked, what will happen? The liquid pressure increases on the lens and the eye, and that leads to the disease called glaucoma. Okay, so when this liquid, when this canal of Schlemm is blocked, the liquid cannot drain into the canal of Schlemm. So what happens actually, the pressure of liquid exceeds and it presses the eye and the lens, and it leads to the disease called glaucoma, the excess of intraocular pressure. Then this portion between the lens and retina, you get another chamber, vitreous chamber. It's called vitreous chamber, that contains another liquid or semi-liquid, vitreous humor, jelly-like vitreous humor. What is the function of the vitreous humor? Number one, it maintains the shape of the eye. It maintains the shape of the eye. Number two, it supports the lens and retina. It supports the lens and retina. Another very important function of this vitreous humor, as the light passes through this lens and when it comes here to the vitreous chamber, the vitreous humor refracts the light. It helps in the refraction of the light. Another very important function of the vitreous humor is that it maintains the intraocular pressure of the eye, intraocular pressure of the eye. So this is about the vitreous humor. Then third layer, retina. that we'll talk about in the next video, because we have to talk more about retina. One thing here, you get a furrow called fovea in the retina, where the rods are more. In the region of yellow colored region, macula lutea. So just opposite to the lens, we get macula lutea in the retina with the furrow called fovea. So these are all things we will talk about in the next video. The structure of retina and how we see, the mechanism of seeing, mechanism of sight, we can see in the next video. So far we have seen sclera and its extension cornea in front and conjunctiva, and then second layer choroid. Cornea is avascular, choroid is vascular, you must remember, and then choroid contains ciliary body and iris. We have seen the ciliary body and iris. The iris contains two types of muscles, circular fibers and radial fibers. And then we have seen about the lens and aqueous chamber and vitreous chamber, aqueous humor and vitreous humor. So this is about the structure of eye in this video. Let us begin the structure of the third layer, inner layer, retina, and the mechanism of sight in the next video. Till then, thank you very much.